At this hour, there are bombs in Iran that are hitting innocent people. That really is happening. That's not funny. Yeah. I don't know if it qualifies as World War III, right?
Well, you can tell Uncle what you've been concerned about, Azariah.
What have you been concerned about, Azariah? For sure. The war is not fair. Oh, warfare. What is warfare? Warfare is just war. Perhaps. Could be. You know about World War One? Do you know about World War Two? So yeah, just like there are World War One and World War Two, there's a potential that there's a World War Three. Y'all good? Most likely not here. So like in World War One and World War Two, for the most part at least, bombs didn't get dropped in America, but Americans overseas did experience warfare. Warfare being the effects of war. I don't know what that means. Yeah, he wasn't in World War One or World War Two, but he was a participant in warfare. Correct. A different war.
Hmm? You're a little scared now?
Sabbath peace.
Sabbath peace.
It's another opportunity for us to come together and hear and learn of the word of truth as given to us by the Most High God. All honor goes to the Father through the Son, whose name is Yahushua. In him lies the only hope for salvation. We know that it is obtained by grace through faith, not of works, lest anyone should boast, and given freely as a gift to all who obey him. We understand that if you do not obey him, it is made manifest or made obvious that you do not believe. In this state, you should expect no good thing from the Most High. However, anything that you do get, whether it be a gift of tongues, a gift of prophecy, or any supernatural experience that you may have, it can and it will be used against you in the day of judgment. With that said, peace to the saints that are in the room, to the saints that couldn't make it, to the saints watching on the camera, to the saints scattered around the world that we don't know about, to the saints in the chat, to the saints where else? Since you know so darn much. Where else? Where else is the saints? The saints around the world that we don't even know about, but the only peace, what? Nope. But the only thing we say to the wicked is,
Good job, thank you.
repent that they might live. All right, man. Where we starting today? Revelations chapter 2 all the way to chapter 3. That was today's read. He just trying to make me do his reading for him. I don't like either one of those. Who else got something? Somebody give me a random a random book. Whatever book. John. All right. Somebody give me a number. We got John. Give me a number. 5. We got John chapter 5. Give me one other number. It's John chapter 5, verse 7. Let's see what the book says.
9:11.
This is John chapter 5, verse 7.
9:11.
You know what I'm saying? Let's see what the book says. Y'all talking about some Revelations, talking about some Genesis. In our weekly reading, Bible in the Year, it's the last week of our Bible in the Year reading. We're in Revelation for once. We're in Revelation, and that's hate, but for once, we in Revelations. So therefore, I don't want to go to Revelations. Y'all supposed to be reading. And in Genesis, we will be in Genesis next week, right? About a week from now, 8 days from now, we will be reading Genesis. So I don't want to go to Genesis either. So instead, we are going to go to John chapter 5, verse 7. And we're going to see what the book says. You got a question. While Uncle T is turning to John chapter 5, verse 7, you got a question. Let's see what it says. Pretty much the same reading. Restarting. Any other questions? Okay. This is John chapter 5, verse 7. Watch what the book say.
The impotent man answered him,
The
Sir.
impotent man. What does impotent man mean? No.
That's funny.
What is impotent man? Yeah, that's right. Very good. Disabled man. Keep going.
Sir, I have no man when the water is troubled to put me into the pool, but while I am coming, another steps down before me. Yahushua said unto him, Rise, take up thy bed and walk. And immediately the man was made whole and took up his bed and walked.
Mm-hmm.
And on the same day was the Sabbath. Jews therefore said unto him that was cured, It is the Sabbath day. It is not lawful for thee to carry thy bed.
All right. The book say, it's the Sabbath day. It is not lawful for thee to carry thy bed. Right? Because there was a man who was impotent. In other words, he was disabled. He wasn't able to just move freely on his own in the same way that a person that wasn't impotent is able to do. Right? You and me, when you ready to get up, guess what you going to do, Leon? Just get your butt right on up. You ready to go to the bathroom, guess what you going to do? I'm going to go right to the darn bathroom. Right? But if a person were impotent, they might need help. They might say, hey, would you mind helping me out and lifting me up and taking me to the bathroom? Sometimes you ever seen some person in a wheelchair? They in a wheelchair. Sometimes you push the wheelchair, you gotta push it yourself. But sometimes you're in situations where you need somebody to help you out. You ever seen a curb? You know, like a curb? You ever like been pushing a basket and you pushing like let's say it's a grocery basket and you going and you run into a curb. What you gotta do? You usually gotta put your foot at the bottom of the basket, lean back and put your weight back this way. It lifts up the front of the basket. Then you push it and you get it on top of the curb and then you go. Y'all probably don't know nothing about that. Back in my day when we was kids, it was baskets everywhere. You know what I'm talking about? It'd be a basket right on the corner. And so you always just had a basket. The
Crazy, that don't
grocery
happen
stores
no
used to
more.
get mad that people would take the baskets from the store and go. It wasn't no Uber. You know what I'm saying? Like people didn't have Uber. So what they did is they just say they go. So if I don't have a car, right, and I'm shopping at the grocery store, first of the month. You know what I'm talking about? First of the month. You know what I'm saying? Got my food stamp shopping at the grocery store. I pack up my basket. I don't have a car to take me home. So what I do is I will push the basket all the way home. And so what you have to do then, when you get to a curb, you got to tilt it. And there's a lot of stuff in the basket. So you got to push it back, get it on top of the curb, and then go. Then you got to lift up the back, and then you keep going. Well, what do you think an impotent person that's sitting inside of a wheelchair, how are they going to do that? There's a chance that they'll flip over if they try to do it on their own. So it's usually two handles on the back of a wheelchair. So a person can do that same type of maneuver. They can put it, lean it back, get them on top of the curb, and then lift them up and put them on top of it. Sometimes people who are impotent, they need a little bit more help. So this gentleman that we're reading about in the book, he had always sat by this pool, right? And this pool is a place that he would ask someone to dip him in because there was a ritual that he believed in that if he got dipped into this pool, he might be healed. So it was his custom to lay by this pool and hope that somebody would help him into the pool. So when Yahushua came by, Yahushua looked at him and said, "Hey man, did anybody help you out? Watch this. Read it again. Maybe go back. What verse I want to go back to? Probably about verse 5. This is John chapter 5. What verse I want?
6.
This is John chapter 5, verse 6. Watch what the book say.
When Yahushua saw him lie and knew that he had been now a long time in that case, he said unto him, Wilt thou be made whole?
So he asked him, he says, do you want to be made whole? What does he mean by that? Do you want to be healed? Do you want to be to a place where you're no longer impotent, right? Where now you're no longer disabled. All your limbs and your bodily functions work as you would normally expect, right? Let's see what happens.
The impotent man answered him, Sir, I have no man when the water is troubled to put me into the pool. But while I am coming, another man steps down before me. And Yahushua said unto him, Rise, take up thy bed and walk.
Mm-hmm.
And immediately the man was made whole and took up his bed and walked. And on the same day was a Sabbath.
Right? So on the Sabbath day, he's sitting down for someone to put him into the pool. Right when it's time for him to try to make his way into the pool, someone beat him to it. Yahushua look at him, see him struggling. It was like, man, you know what I'm saying? You make it in there? Would you be made whole? He like, man, I love to, because remember when he say made whole, he thinking, oh, you believe in the pool like I believe in the pool. If I just get myself in the water, maybe I could be made whole. Y'all, she was like, oh, don't even worry about it, man. Just get up and walk. So first, you have to put yourself in the mindset. Imagine somebody in a wheelchair saying, yo, can you help me up this curb? I'm trying to get up this curb because I can't walk. Imagine somebody looking at that person like, oh, you need to get what's over there. Oh, don't worry about it. Just get up and walk. The person in the wheelchair looking like, I can't walk. What you mean? That's the reason why I'm asking for help. Right? He tell him, nah, man, that's all right. Just get up and walk. But instead of looking at him like that's offensive to me, he believed Yahushua. He said, you know, well, let me give it a shot. And then he got up. And then he picked up the bed that he laid on and he started to carry it. But what day was it? The Sabbath day. What do we know about the Sabbath day? It's a day where you rest, right? So what's illegal on the Sabbath day? If this is a day that you're supposed to rest, you can't work. But not just work, you can't do what? Let's see if we can get it. What I want? 34. Let me see if this is it. I want Exodus chapter 34, verse. I don't know. Go ahead and start me early at about verse 8. This is Exodus chapter 34, verse 8. You gotta learn about the Sabbath a little bit.
And Moses made haste and bowed his head toward the earth and worshipped. And he said, If now I found grace in thy sight, O Lord, let my Lord, I pray thee, go among us. For it is a stiff necked people, and pardon our iniquity and our sin, and take us for thine inheritance.
Uh-huh.
And he said, Behold, I make a covenant before all thy people. I will do marvels such as have not been done in all the earth, nor
Uh-huh.
in any nation. And all the people among which thou art shall see the work of the Lord. For it is a terrible thing that I will do with thee.
Mm-hmm.
Observe thou that which I command thee this day. Behold, I drive out before thee the Amorite, the Canaanite, the Hittite, and the Perizzite, the Hivite, and the Jebusite. Take heed to thyself, lest thou make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land where you go, lest it be a snare in the midst of thee. But you shall destroy their altars and break their images and cut down their groves. And you shall worship no other God.
You should worship what?
No other God.
So if it's other gods, what shall we do? We should not worship them, right? If somebody presents us with a God that's different from the Most High God that we learn about in this book, what the Most High God that we learned about in this book is saying is don't worship the other gods, right? All right, keep going. What's an example of another God? Buddha would be an example of another God. Zeus, that's a good one. Zeus would be an example of another God. Who? Hades? Yeah, and yeah, that he's considered a god. That's right. Jupiter,
Zuhar said Allah.
Allah. Allah would be purportedly will be the same God as us, but we recognize him as another God because his message is different from our God, even if he tries to say that he's the same God. Hercules would not be considered a god, but would be the son of another god, according to they understand it. Right? So let's keep going. Let's take a look at it.
For Yahuwah, whose name is a jealous God, lest
Mm-hmm.
thou make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land, and they go a whoring after their gods, and do sacrifice unto their gods, and one call thee, and thou eat of his sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
And
You mess
thou
around, somebody call you, and you'll mess around and eat of the sacrifice to their God. That means like somebody would take an animal, they then kill this animal in honor of another God, and then cook the animal, and then make a meal and give it to you, and all that in honor of another God. He's saying, man, don't do that and don't let yourself eat of another god. Keep going. Eat of a sacrifice of another god.
And thou take of their daughters unto thy sons, and their daughters go a whoring after their gods, and make thy sons go a whoring after their gods.
Yeah, so what does that mean? You can't marry somebody that's a different race from you? Is that what this is telling us?
No.
No. It's telling you of the particular nations that are of the land, right? Our people went in. A lot of people don't understand this stuff because they don't read the book. There's a particular set of nations that were descendants of what's called descendants of Ham. I mean, no, descendants of Canaan. So Canaan was a man that was born to who? Ham?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Canaan was a man. Oh, we got grab Genesis chapter 10. It's Genesis chapter 10. Let's see. After we get Genesis chapter 10, we're gonna go back to Exodus chapter 34. After we understand what the Sabbath is in Exodus chapter 34, then we're gonna jump on back to John chapter 5. This Genesis chapter 10. We're gonna start at verse 1. Genesis chapter 10, verse 1. Good, bro?
Yeah, my bad. You said Genesis 10 what?
Genesis chapter 10, verse 1.
All right. Not so bad. Now these are the generations of the sons of Noah:
Mm-hmm.
Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And unto
So
them were
look,
sons born after the flood.
you have Noah, right? So Noah was born, and then after the world was flooded, everybody was killed in the world except for Noah and his family. So now we have, yes, that's correct, because they survived because of the ark. The Most High God provided them a way to survive. So now Noah becomes the only man living along with his family. So now the whole world, we know the whole world comes from two people, who? Adam and Eve, right? But what people forget is the world that they produced, everyone died except for Noah and his family. So now that means the whole world came from who? Noah and his family, right? Well, Noah came from Adam and Eve, so both are still true, right? But everybody came from Adam and Eve, but everybody also died, and then Noah and his family were left. So that means everybody today also came from Noah and his family, right? So this is breaking down Noah's family, right? So this is Genesis chapter 10, verse 1, and it tells us he had three sons. He had Shem, he had Japheth, and the last one was who? Ham, right? Shem, Japheth, and Ham. Keep going. Watch this.
And unto them were sons born after the flood.
Uh-huh.
The sons of Japheth: Gomer, and Magog, and Medai, and Javan.
Okay. So
And
now we got Japheth. He had
Javan,
Gomer and Magog and Medai and Javan. Right? Keep going.
and Tubal, and Meshach, and Tiras.
Uh-huh.
And the sons of Gomer: Ashkenaz, and Riphat, and Togarmah. And the sons of Javan: Elisha, and Tarshish, Kittim, and Dodani.
Uh-huh.
By these were the eyes of the Gentiles divided in their lands, everyone after his tongue, after their families and their nation.
Okay.
And the sons of Ham:
The sons
Cush,
of Ham are what?
Cush,
Cush
and Mizraim,
and Mizraim.
and
That's
Put,
Egypt. Who?
and Put,
And Put
and Canaan.
and Canaan. Right? So Canaan was a son of Ham. So now those that descend from Canaan, let's see.
And the sons of Cush: Seba, and Havilah, and Sabta, and Raamah, and Sabteca. And the sons of Raamah: Sheba, and Dedan. And Cush begot Nimrod. He began to be the mighty one in the earth. he was a mighty hunter before Yahuah. Wherefore it is said, even as Nimrod, the mighty hunter before Yahuah. In the beginning of his kingdom was Babel, and Erech, and Akkad, and Calneh, in the land of Shinar. Out of that land went forth Asher, and builded Nineveh, and the city Rehoboth, and Calah. And Resen between Nineveh and Calah, the same as a great city. And Mizraim begot Ludim, and Anim, and Lehabim, and Naphtuim, and Pathrushim, and Paluhim, out of whom came Philistim, and Caphtorim. And Canaan begot Sidon,
So Canaan begot these people: Sidon,
his firstborn, and Heth,
and Heth,
and the Jebusite,
and the Jebusite,
and the Amorite,
and the
and
Amorite,
the Girgashite,
and the
and
Girgashite,
the Hittite,
and the
and
Hittite,
the Archite,
and the Archite,
and the Sinite,
and the Sinite,
and the Arvadite,
and the Arvadite,
and the Zimmerite,
and the Zimmerite,
and the Hamathite.
and the Hamathite.
And afterward were the families of the Canaanites spread abroad.
So these are the nations in particular that the Most High God is saying that the Israelites were not allowed to marry or give their women, their daughters, into marriage to these people in particular. It is not saying that people of races, different races, can't marry. What it's saying is these people in particular, you cannot do it because they are descendants of Canaan. And the Most High God, the whole reason that He brought us into the land for us to adopt the land of Israel was for us to judge the descendants of Canaan. Grab for me Genesis chapter 15. All right, we got questions. What we got here is a question. It's Genesis chapter 15. We're gonna do verse I don't know, 9. Huh? Heth is a name of a person. And then he led a nation of people. So yeah. What's your question? It is a group, but it started off as one person, and his group was named after him. Just like our group would be our people would be called Israelites, right? Well, that comes from one person who was named Jacob, who the Most High God then gave him another name called Israel, right? So that is always, or not always, but a lot of times, entire nations were named after their fathers. So the father of the Canaanites was a man named Canaan. This is Genesis chapter 15. Let's start like at verse 9. Let's see what the book says.
And he said unto him, take me a heifer of 3 years old, and a she goat of 3 years old, and a ram of 3 years old, and a turtle dove, and a young pigeon. And he took unto him all these, and divided them in the midst, and laid each piece one against the other.
Mm-hmm.
But the birds divided he not. And when the fowls came down upon the carcasses, Abram drove them away. And when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell on Abram, and lo, a horror of great darkness fell upon him.
Mm-hmm.
And he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs.
He said, know of a surety that thy seed, they're going to be a stranger. He's talking to Abraham, who's the father of our people, right? So he's telling Abraham, just be sure your people, your descendants, the people that come after you, are going to be strangers in a land that is not theirs. In other words, we will be living in a land that's not our land, right? Keep going.
And shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years.
How many years?
400
He
years.
said they're going to afflict them 400 years. But what else?
And also that nation whom they shall serve
He said, and also that nation whom they shall serve, what?
will I judge.
He said he will judge the nation whom we shall serve. So 400 years, we will be afflicted, right? But then also the nation who we serve will be judged by God, right? Keep going.
And afterward shall they come out with great substance.
Okay.
And thou shalt go to thy fathers in peace. Thou shalt be buried in a good old age. But in the fourth generation they shall come here again, for the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full.
He said, in the fourth generation, they shall come here again. Abraham at this point is in what's called the land of Canaan. Okay? It's the land of Canaan because that's where the Canaanites live. After that, when the iniquity of the Amorites were full, and if you all remember, one of the sons of Canaan was called was an Amorite, right? So after the iniquity of the Canaanites or the Amorites were full, then the Most High God said, all right, now we're going to take over. Now we're going to figure it out. So that's why in chapter 34, let's go back in Exodus chapter 34. That's why in Exodus chapter 34, what verse did we leave off on? That's why in Exodus chapter 34, verse 16, we're being told before this that we need to make sure that we don't marry the Canaanites, the people of this land, right? Because they will be judged because the iniquity of the Amorites are now full, which is why the Most High God brought us out of Egypt and brought us into the land of Canaan to judge them. So we're not to have relations with the people that the Most High God is using us to judge. Yeah, the Most High God judge us too. That's right. Mm-hmm. The ark? Mm-mm. No, the ark. But there's plenty of stuff that tells us what it looked like. This is Exodus chapter 34, verse 16. It's Exodus chapter 34, verse 16. Watch what the book says.
And thou take of their daughters unto thy sons, and thy daughters go a whoring after their gods, and make thy sons go a whoring after their gods. Thou shalt make thee no molten gods. The feast of unleavened bread shalt thou keep. 7 days thou shalt eat unleavened bread, as I commanded thee in the time of the month Abib. For in the month Abib thou camest out from Egypt. All that open the matrix is mine, and every firstling amongst thy cattle, whether ox or sheep, that is male.
Uh-huh.
For the firstling of a donkey thou shalt redeem with a lamb.
Mm-hmm.
And if thou redeem him not, then thou shalt break his neck. All the firstborn of thy sons thou shalt redeem, and none shall appear before me empty.
Why do we have to redeem or give our firstborn to Yah?
Because he spared us in Egypt.
Right? In Egypt, what did he take? How did we get out of Egypt? Who remembers?
Me. That's me.
Who knows? Who's confident about the answer? You got it? So y'all put plagues? What plagues did he put on? What plague led to us leaving Egypt? Very good. He killed all the firstborn of who? The Egyptians. Very good. So he killed all the firstborn of Egyptians. Eli's trying to explain this stuff, right? And as he kills the firstborn of Egyptians, then we leave, right? So now what do we owe him? Because we were also in Egypt, but our firstborns didn't die. So what do we owe the Most High God? Yeah, that's true too. What do we owe to the Most High God? If we were in Egypt and everybody in Egypt lost their firstborn child, but we didn't lose our firstborn child, what do we then owe to the Most High God? Our firstborn child, right? So now every firstborn that we have, whether it be of the animals or of ourselves, we have to dedicate to the Most High God. 1,000. You know what I'm saying? Book say I gotta crack your darn neck. Oh, that's for a donkey. You know what I'm saying? That's a donkey. Sorry. Sorry. All right. I don't know what you're talking about.
Abraham and Isaac.
What is it?
That's what he's talking about.
Okay. Good job then, boy, because I didn't recognize it. What are you talking about? Let's go to all right, let's keep going. This is Exodus chapter 34.
And thou take of their daughters unto thy sons, and thy daughters go a whoring after their gods, and make your sons go a whoring after their gods. Thou shalt make thee no molten gods. The feast of unleavened bread you shall keep.
He said, the feast of unleavened bread ye shall keep. That's coming up later this month.
7 days.
Right? On March chapter 27th is the Passover, the night of March. I mean, on March 26th, actually. So March 26th is the Passover. The night of March 26th is the Passover. And then the day of unleavened bread follows through on to March 27th, right? And then the week of unleavened bread lasts 7 days, where the first day and the seventh day is a Sabbath. Right? So that's what begins next week. Go to the website if you want to follow the same calendar that we follow. Go to the website, Yahuah, hover over where it says pages, and you can click on where it says appointed times. You can download the calendar, print it out, do whatever you want to do with it. You can sync it up to your Google Docs or your Google Calendar. You can sync it up to your iPhone calendar. You can do all of it. All right. This is let's keep going.
The feast of unleavened bread thou shalt keep. 7 days you shall eat unleavened bread, as I commanded thee, in the time of the month of Abib. For in the month of Abib you came out of Egypt. All that opened the matrix is mine, and every firstling among thy cattle, whether ox or sheep, that is male. But the firstling of a donkey you shall redeem with a lamb. And if you shall redeem him not, you shall break his neck. All the firstborn of thy sons thou shalt redeem, and none shall appear before me empty. 6 days you shall work, but on the seventh day thou shalt rest.
He says, 6 days ye shall work. Remember, that's why we came here. We wanted to understand the Sabbath. He says, 6 days you shall work, but on the seventh day thou shalt rest. Why? Watch this.
In earing time and in harvest you shall rest. And you shall observe the feast of weeks, of the first fruits of wheat harvest, and the feast of ingathering at the year's end. 3 times in a year shall all your men children appear before Yahuah God, the God of Israel. For I will cast out the nations before thee and enlarge your borders. Neither shall any man desire your land. When you shall go up to appear before Yahuah thy God 3 times in the year, you shall not offer the blood of my sacrifice with leaven. Neither shall the sacrifice of the feast of the Passover be left unto the morning. For the first of the first fruits of thy land thou shalt bring unto the house of Yahuah thy God. Thou shalt not seethe a kid in his mother's milk. And Yahuah said unto Moses, Write thou these words, for after the tenor of these words I have made a covenant with thee and with Israel. And he was there with Yahuah 40 days and 40 nights. He neither ate bread nor drank water. And he wrote upon the tablets the words of the covenant, the 10 commandments. And it came to pass, when Moses came down from Mount Sinai with the 2 tables of testimony in Moses' hand, when he came down from the mount, that Moses wist not that the skin of his face shone while he talked.
Right? So Moses' face was shining. Right? And Moses didn't realize that his face was shining because he was talking with the Most High God. So the Most High God, he said he talked with the Most High God for 7 days, for 40 days and 40 nights. Right? And in doing that, his face began to shine. The first time he was talking with the Most High God for 40 days and 40 nights, he came down, and who remembers what happened? That's very good, right? They were worshiping the golden calf. And so he took the 2 tablets in which the Most High God, with his own hand, the Most High God wrote the 10 commandments on these 2 tablets. When we talking about tablets, we're not talking about like the iPad. You know what I'm talking about? They was like rocks of stone, and he wrote on them. You know what I'm saying? And so it was written and carved into these stones, the 10 commandments, probably 5 on one and 5 on the other, right? And so he came down with these, and he saw them worshiping this golden calf after the Most High God just told him, don't worship another God, and he ended up breaking the tablet. So now he goes back to the Most High God, another 40 days, another 40 nights, and then Moses carves out the 10 commandments on the tablets again, and now he comes down with them again. But this time when he comes down with them, his face is shining because he spent so much time in the presence of the Most High God, right? Keep going.
And when Aaron and all the children of Israel saw Moses, behold, the skin of his face shone, and they were afraid to come near him. And Moses called unto them, and Aaron and all the rulers of the congregation returned unto him, and Moses talked with them. And afterward all the children of Israel came near, and he gave them in commandment all that Yahuah had spoken with him in Mount Sinai.
Okay.
Until
He
Moses
gave
had
him the command. Look, hold on. He gave him, because remember, Moses just gave us a list of commandments that weren't 10 commandments, right? Then it says that he wrote the 10 commandments. Then it says he came down to the people with his face shining, and he gave them what? The 10 commandments? Is that what it say?
He would, and Moses talked with them, and afterward all the children of Israel came near, and he gave them in commandment all that Yahuah had spoken with him in Mount Sinai.
He said, I gave them everything that the Most High God told us. It's important that we understand that the whole reason for Moses to go talk to God is because the Most High God spoke to us about the 10 commandments directly. Moses was supposed to go and get everything else that the Most High, that the Most High God did not say. Right? Y'all put that down, pay attention. Right? He was supposed to get everything else that the Most High God did not say. Right? So everything that the Most High God, he came back, he brought that back, and he said, okay, that's cool. Put that down, boy. Put it down. Go ahead.
Until Moses had done speaking with him, he put a veil on his face.
Mm-hmm.
But when Moses went before Yahuah to speak with him, he took the veil off until he came out. And he came out and spake unto the children of Israel that which was commanded.
Mm-hmm.
And the children of Israel saw the face of Moses, that the skin of Moses' face shone. Moses put the veil upon his face again until he went to speak with him.
Mm-hmm. So now we know about the Sabbath, right? Grab. Well, let's see. Grab Jeremiah for me. This is Jeremiah chapter 17. Jeremiah chapter 17. Give me verse. I don't know, 20. Let's do verse 20. Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 20. Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 20.
And say unto them, hear ye the word of Yahuah, ye kings of Judah,
Mm-hmm.
and all Judah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem that enter in by these gates.
Mm-hmm.
Thus says Yahuah, take heed to yourselves and bear no burden on the Sabbath day.
He said, take heed to yourselves and bear no burden on what day?
The Sabbath day.
On the Sabbath day. Keep going.
Nor bring it in by the gates of Jerusalem.
He said, nor bring it in by the gates of Jerusalem. Keep going.
Neither carry forth a burden out of your houses on the Sabbath day.
Don't even carry it forth by the houses on the Sabbath day. So it's saying basically, don't carry a burden on the Sabbath day. Right? So now let's go back to John chapter 5. Where did we leave off? What's your question? Yeah, it might be. You know what I'm saying? Might be. It is work. Let's see if we can answer that question.
He answered them, he that made me whole, the same said unto me, take up thy bed and walk.
Uh-huh.
Then asked they him, what man is this which said unto thee, take up thy bed and walk?
Mm-hmm.
And he that was healed wist not who it was. For Yahushua had conveyed himself away, a multitude being in that place.
Right? So Yahushua told him, take up his bed and walk. Right? Jeremiah 17 told us, don't carry a burden. So now, when we see this man who carrying his bed, who wasn't able to walk before that, the thing that we decided to focus on was, hey, you shouldn't be carrying your bed on the Sabbath day. Because you know what? We interpret that to be a burden. And based off of what Jeremiah 17 said, and based off of what Exodus chapter 34 said, we believe that this is against our law. Then the man who was disabled said, you know what? I got this from Yahushua. He told me to do that. And so now they're trying to investigate, like, who's telling you to break the law? Well, let's keep reading.
Afterward, Yahushua findeth him in the temple and said unto him, behold, thou art made whole. Sin no more, lest the worst thing come upon thee.
Look, he said, sin no more or less what?
Something worse happen to you.
It's important for us to realize A lot of times people look at the Most High God as being the ever forgiving God. But one thing that they miss is how serious the man is about us turning away from sin. The whole point of what he's doing is to give us, to incentivize us to turn away from sin. Right? He trying to make a deal with us that'll cause us to turn away from sin. So if we turn away from sin, he said, I'll forget all the rest of the stuff that happened. But if you don't turn away from sin, he's telling you something worse is going to happen to you. You thought being disabled was bad. Understand that after that, something worse is going to happen to you. Why is he saying something worse will happen to you?
Because the wages of sin is death.
If you have experienced a miracle of the Most High God and you still rebel against him, now it's a spit in the Most High God's face. You go to the fire for being a sinner. If the excuse is removed for you to say, man, I didn't even know that God was real. You can't say that when the Most High God did a miracle for you. You couldn't walk, and now you can walk. So Yahushua looking at him like, look, man, you got something that most people don't got. You might want to relax and let something worse happen to you. Right? Keep going.
The man departed and told the Jews that it was Yahushua which had made him whole.
Uh-huh.
Therefore did the Jews persecute Yahushua and sought to slay him, because he had done these things on the Sabbath day.
Mm-hmm.
But Yahushua answered them, My Father works hitherto, and I work. Therefore the Jews sought more to kill him, because he not only had broken the Sabbath, but said also that God was his Father, making himself equal with God.
Right? So he said the problem that they had with Yahushua is not just that he said, Yah is my father, but he made himself equal by saying, because my father works hitherto, in other words, up to this point, then I also work up to this point. Signifying to them saying, oh, you don't care about working on the Sabbath. Keep going, watch this.
Then answered Yahushua and said unto them, Verily, verily, I say unto you, the Son can do nothing of himself, but what he sees the Father do.
Mm-hmm.
For whatsoever things he does, these also does the Son likewise.
Mm-hmm.
For the Father loves the Son, and shows him all things that himself does. And he will show him greater works than these, that you may marvel. For as the Father raises up the dead and quickeneth them, even so the Son quickeneth whom he will.
Right? So he says, as the Father raises up the dead and quickeneth them, which means makes them alive, right? The Son is going to do the same thing. So he's making himself equal with the Father in that he can do the same things that the Father is doing. Keep going.
For the Father judges no man, but has committed all judgment unto the Son,
Mm-hmm.
that all men should honor the Son, even as they honor the Father. He that honors not the Son honors not the Father which has sent him. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that heareth my word and believes on him that sent me has everlasting life, and shall not come into condemnation, but is passed from death unto life.
He's passed from death onto life. Keep going.
Verily, verily, I say unto you, the hour is coming, and now is, when the dead shall hear the voice of the Son of God, and they that hear shall live. For as the Father has life in himself, so has he given the Son to have life in himself, and has given him authority to execute judgment also, because he is the Son of Man.
Mm-hmm.
Marvel not at this, for the hour is coming in the which all that are in the grave shall hear his voice,
Mm-hmm.
and shall come forth, they that have done good unto the resurrection of life, and they that have done evil unto the resurrection of damnation.
So there's two resurrections. There's the resurrection of life, and then there's the resurrection of damnation. Grab Matthew. Give me Matthew chapter 25. Matthew chapter 25. Is that what I want? Is it Matthew chapter 25 that I want? Give me Matthew chapter 25, maybe verse 25. Give me Matthew chapter 25, verse 25. So a question came out. The question is, what does damnation mean? What's in the, what I'm saying? We're gonna kind of look at an example of damnation. This is Matthew chapter 25, verse 25. After that, we're gonna go to Revelation.
Oh, I got to whoop him for saying that too, Zar. Whoop him. Whoop him. I'm just saying. My mom. What'd you say, boy? You know, 25 what?
25,
It's not.
25. It's Matthew chapter 25, verse 25.
Hey, I couldn't say that wrong. I ain't saying you wrong. I'm just saying.
Go take that calendar back into your room.
And I was afraid and went and hid my talent in the earth. Lo, there hast thou
What
that
am
is
I
thine.
looking for? See what I'm looking. I'm looking for the goats. Keeping the goats.
31.
This is verse 31. This is Matthew chapter 25, verse 31.
When the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory.
Mm-hmm.
And before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divides his sheep from the goats.
Right? So all nations are going to appear before him. Only Israelites?
All nations.
It says all nations will appear before him. Right? These silly Hebrew Israelites, they have you thinking that only Israelites get in. You know what I'm saying? The man is telling you all nations. Read it again for me. Israelites, to them boys is tricky. They some rebellion. You know how rebellious Hebrew Israelites is. They will read this, and the Hebrew Israelite will tell you, "No, brother. So you have to understand that when Israel got exiled and got cast out into all the nations, they became all nations. So when he say all nations, he really only talking about the lost tribes of Israel." I'm like, man, y'all do some acrobatics around the truth of the word, boy. Watch this.
When the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory. And before him shall he gather all nations, and he shall separate them from one another, as a shepherd divide his sheep from the goats.
That's right.
And he shall
Watch
set.
we got. Hope we got there. Grab Revelation for this. Revelation. What I want? What is it? Revelation. Is it 6? Is it Revelation 6 or 7? Maybe. Um, I'm looking for. I'm looking for what, the fifth seal. I think it's the fifth seal. See where the fifth seal is for me. I think it's either Revelation 6 or Revelation 7.
6:9.
This is Revelation chapter 6 verse 9. Watch what the book say.
And when he had opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of God
Uh huh.
and for the testimony which they held. And they cried with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Lord, holy and true, dost thou not judge and
Oh, that's
avenge
not
our
what I'm
blood
looking
on them
for. Keep going though. That's
that
not what I'm
dwell on
looking
the
for.
earth? And white robes were given unto every one of them, and it was said unto them that they should rest yet for a little season until their fellow servants also and their brethren that should be killed as they were should be fulfilled.
Mm-hmm.
And I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake. The sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood.
Where does he count the 144,000?
That is
What seal is that?
in 7, chapter 7.
Chapter 7. It's the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Okay. This is Revelation chapter 7 verse 1. Watch this. Only because the Hebrew Israelites, they gonna tell you that when Yah is talking about he dividing all nations, they gonna tell you that that's all Israelites. He gonna say, man, that's 100% Israelite. That's what they gonna say, right? So now let's just read it and make sure Revelation agree with that.
After these things, I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea,
Uh huh.
nor on any tree. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living God. And he cried with a loud voice of the 4 angels, to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea,
Mm-hmm.
saying, Hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God in their forehead.
So look, now the servants of the Most High God have to be sealed on their foreheads. Watch this. This is not the same as the white folk that we have in lint. You know what I'm saying? They dig lint out of their pocket, they dye it black and rub it on their forehead. That's not the same thing, right? So look, he said he's gonna seal them on their forehead. They put a big cross on their forehead. That's not what the Most High God do, right? So he said he gonna seal them on their forehead. Watch this,
And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of Israel,
right?
all
So
the
of
children of
all
Israel.
the children of Israel, 144,000 of them were sealed, right? So when you think about different types of people, this is one type of people, Israelites. Of those Israelites, 144,000 of them were chosen to be sealed, right? So now it's going to jump on down. It's going to tell us about how many from each tribe of Israel. There's 12 tribes of Israel. We're going to skip over this part, go to the last tribe of Israel. Let's read that. I want y'all to know it went through all 12 tribes, but we're going to go to the last one and keep reading. What verse is it?
Verse 9.
This is Revelation chapter 7, verse 9. Watch this.
After this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude, which no man could number, of all nations and kindreds and
Hold
people and
on. Go to
tongues.
the last one. So give me Revelation chapter 7, verse 8.
Of the tribe of Zebulun were
So
sealed.
this is the last tribe of Israelites, right? Zebulun are a distinct group of Israelites only. Zebulun is also a part of the lost tribes, right? So this captures all of the Israelites, all the Israelite people. That's what this is talking about, right? Keep going. Zebulun being the last of the 12 tribes.
Were sealed 12,000. Of the
Okay.
tribe of Joseph were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Benjamin were sealed 12,000.
Okay. Now let's see who else.
And after this I beheld.
After that, so after the Israelites were sealed, he said, I beheld. What did he behold?
And lo, a great multitude which no man could number, of all nations.
Of what?
All nations.
Of all nations
and kindreds.
And kindreds.
And
What does
people.
kindreds mean?
Family.
He said, I beheld all nations and kindreds. In other words, different bloodlines. And what else?
And people in tongues.
And different types of people in different languages. All different types of people, all different bloodlines, all different types of people, all different languages. He said, I beheld and I saw it. And it was so many of them that I couldn't even number it. Keep going. Watch this.
And they stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes, and palms in their hands, and cried with a loud voice, saying, Salvation to our God, which sitteth upon the throne, and unto the Lamb. And all the angels stood round about the throne, and about the elders, and the four beasts, and fell before the throne of their faces, and worshiped God, saying, Amen. Blessing and glory and wisdom and thanksgiving and honor and power and might be unto our God forever and ever.
Y'all got to stop
Amen.
listening to people who don't understand the book. Right? A lot of these people get to run in their mouth and start trying to teach it, but they don't understand the book. They had anybody that's not black or anybody that's not an Israelite or feeling like they're not an Israelite, they have them thinking, man, I can't even get in there. You know what I'm saying? I can't even get in. You got to be an Israelite to get in. Stop such a silly darn butt up. That's not how the book works. The book tell you very clearly. You just got to have a teacher. You got to have somebody. You got to be studious enough to read it yourself and get the truth out of it. Stop sitting around searching YouTube looking for anything that you can find that fits your sensibilities. Sometimes people on YouTube and they searching, you know what I'm saying? If they want to believe that it's okay to smoke weed, let me find somebody to teach me it's okay to smoke weed. And they type that in just so they could get high and smoke weed. If you want to smoke some weed, smoke the darn weed. Why you gotta try to make God say it's okay to do it? That's my problem with people. If you want to do something bad, just do what you want to do. Why you gotta lie on God to do what you want to do? But if you want to serve the Most High God, then just be good and serve the Most High God. Pick a side. Everybody got to pick a side. Everybody want to be in the darn middle of everything. No matter what side you pick in life, it comes with something. You want to be a football star. Guess what it come with? It come with practice. It come with the weight room. It come with you might having CTE if you go far. You know what CTE is, right? When your brain, no, it's a different type of scholarship. It's when your brain get rattled up. Because in football, you line up with these boys, and then you go run as hard as you can, and then pow, right? So your brain inside, your skull, you got a brain inside. So this little hard part, you touch your head, is hard. Inside of that, your brain is in there. So your brain is like inside of this encasing. But every time you get hit, guess what happens? Your brain kind of shake around inside of that encasing like this. So that happened too much, and people start to think differently. Right? If you listen to boxers, like any boxer that's boxed for a long time, you will see that a lot of times they slur their words or they can't really speak. You know what I'm saying? As clearly as some other people. Right? Who ever heard of Muhammad Ali?
Me.
Right? With Muhammad Ali, older in his age, he had shakes. This is how he'd be. This was the fastest heavyweight, hit the hardest. He got old and he got to the point where he could barely talk and he just shaking. You know what I'm saying? And that came partially because his brain was rattled so much all his life because he had so many fights. Nowadays, you get a fighter, they might fight. I mean, if they fight 40 times, that's a ton of fights. These boys back in the day, some of them would have over 100 fights in their career. Not Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, I think had somewhere around almost 80 fights. Right? And these is hard hitting fights back when it used to be 15 rounds. The max you can go nowadays for a sanctioned fight is 12 rounds. Back then, you could go 15 of them things, just slugging. Bah! Wow! It wasn't no Floyd Mayweather, oh, don't get hit. It wasn't a whole lot of that. Everybody just stand in the middle of the ring and bow, bow for 15 rounds. What? That's what happened to their brain. They had to change that rule because they saw they was looking like, oh, no, that's messing up these boxers' brains. But guess what? If I want to be a boxer, guess what? That comes with it. That comes with being a boxer. So you can't allow yourself to say, I want to be a boxer. I want to be the best boxer ever. And then also say, I don't want to be hit. I don't want my brain to rattle around. I don't want CTE. I don't want Parkinson's. I don't want to slur. As soon as you say, I want to be a boxer, guess what you got to say? I accept all those things as a risk. I accept that that's part of my fight to become a boxer. If I don't want to get hit, I got to get good at dodging. I got to practice. I got to do work. If I want to grow up and I want to be a football player, I have to accept that I might get a concussion. If I don't want a concussion, I got to look and do all the work to try to avoid getting a concussion. I got to hit people a certain way. I got to avoid certain types of hits. I got to play a different position. But that comes with it. Every choice that you make comes with a good side. I mean, a football player, I'll be a star. I'll make a lot of money. I'll be popular. That'd be great, right? But the other side of it is, man, that's a lot of practice. That's a lot of times that I'm going to say, when all my friends is out there partying in college, that's a lot of times that I'm going to say, I'm going to be on the field. I'm going to be in the weight room. I have to make the sacrifice if I really want it. The problem is we tell ourselves that we want stuff, but we don't really want it. We don't really want it. Because when you want something, guess what you're willing to do for it? You're willing to sacrifice for it. But if the sacrifice for what you want costs too much to you, that means you don't want it. Right? Actions are everything. Action. When somebody is ready to take hold of what they want, guess what they going to do? Action. They going to say, you know what? It's time to get to it. I don't care what nobody's saying. Right? I had a friend, he passed away. One of our friends, he was all action. All action. He had talked to you about it 1 or 2 times. Like, man, look, man, we about to go, you know what I'm saying? We about to go do this, that, and the other, da. If you say anything he don't like, man, see, cuz y'all ain't pay attention, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. Yeah. Next thing you know, 2 weeks later, hey, look what we did. Because he all action. He don't have time to sit around and talk. Whatever he wanted to do, he willing to do the sacrifice, whether it get him in trouble or whether it's good. He was willing to take that sacrifice because that's what he wanted. That's somebody who thinks about what they want and he picked the side. Whatever come with this, I'm going to take it. But I believe I got a shot at this. Sometimes if you're going to do what you're going to do it. Don't try to twist people's thoughts and make people believe that God is saying this and try to justify yourself. No, man, pick a side and do what you're going to do. If you want to be bad, don't waste my time sitting here listening to these Bible studies. Don't waste my time sitting here doing. If you want to live a life that's going to send you to the lake of fire, guess what? Just do that and do it to the best of your ability. But if you want to live for the Most High God, if you think that what the Most High God has for you to offer is good, now it's time to make a sacrifice. That means your silly butt shouldn't be on there searching about how you can smoke some darn weed. You leave the weed a darn long. This is well, what you got? Let's go back to Matthew chapter 25, verse 30, whatever we left off on. That's exactly what you said. Y'all always testing. It's good. It's good to say that y'all always testing us, right? Because we don't know when y'all is testing us. All we know is it's options in front of us, and the Most High God is expecting us to make an option that aligns with His word. And the truth is, we make it harder than what it really is. Most High God is pretty simple. He's pretty straightforward. He just say, look, man, don't sin. Outside of that, you can do whatever you want to do. You got an option to become a football star or a boxer or a basketball player or a doctor. Do you think any of that has anything to do with the Most High God? Guess what? Can you play football without cussing? Can you box without cussing? So do you think any of that, do you think the options of your career path have anything to do with the word of God? In those scenarios, no. Now, if you want to be an assassin, that's different. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be an assassin, that's a career choice that the Most High God might have a problem. Right? But those career choices, those are all you. So you don't even have to go to God and say, God, is it okay for me to do? No, it's not a sin. Anything that's not a sin, guess whose choice that is? But still, your choices come with something. You might say, it's easier for me to sin if I make this choice. If I make this choice, it comes with more temptation. So now you have to understand, can I handle that? Can I handle being a superstar? All the women in the world throwing themselves at me, a bunch of people offering me drugs, trying to get me to go to the nightlife and the nightlife scene. Can I handle that? Am I able to stay faithful to the Most High God if I had that? And if your answer is yes, then guess what? Do what you're going to do. And when the women offer themselves to you, guess what you say? No, I'm good. I ain't into that. I'm married. Right? When the drugs get offered to you, say, no, I'm good. I don't do drugs. No, I don't need that drink. That Jose Cuervo. You know what I'm talking about? I don't need that. You know why? I don't get drunk. That's not what I do. Right? That's a choice that you can make. That's a choice that each one of us can make as individuals. We don't have to, there ain't nothing in the book that tell us we got to be one career versus another career. This is Matthew chapter 25 verse what? 30 what? It's
32.
Matthew chapter 25 verse 30 what?
32.
It's Matthew chapter 25 verse 32. Watch what the book say.
And before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divide his sheep from the goat.
Look, so all nations, kindreds, tongues, and peoples will be divided before him, like he's separating sheep from goat. Watch this.
And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left.
Watch this.
Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, Come ye blessed of my father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was a hungered, and you gave me meat. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. I was a stranger, and you took me in. Naked, and ye clothed me. I was sick, and ye visited me. I was in prison, and you came unto me. Then shall the righteous answer him, saying, Lord, when did we see you hungry, and fed thee, or thirsty, and gave you drink? When saw we thee a stranger, and took thee in, or naked, and clothed thee? But when saw we thee sick or in prison and came unto thee?
Mm-hmm.
And the king shall answer and say unto them, Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren, ye have done it unto me.
That's right.
Then shall he say also unto them of the left hand, Depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels.
So he said, depart from me, you cursed, into what?
Everlasting fire.
That's prepared for who?
For the devil and his angels.
So what? So Zahar had the question. Zahar said, what is the damnation? What do you think the damnation is? No. The damnation is the everlasting fire that's prepared for the devil and his angels. So when we said damnation, it's not talking about necessarily a place. It's talking about a condition, right? So if a person is cursed to damnation, that means they're cursed to a punishment, right? Damnation means punishment. And so the punishment, the specific punishment is everlasting fire. And that everlasting fire was originally prepared for the devil and his angels. No, he's talking about the devil's angels. He's talking about the heavenly beings that followed the devil. Right? Grab Revelation chapter 12. This is Revelation chapter 12. Give me verse I don't know. Give me Revelation chapter 12. Give me verse 6. What you got? Yeah, Satan. Yep, we'll read it right now. This is Revelation chapter 12. Give me verse 6. Watch what the book says.
And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she had a place prepared of God, that they should feed her there 1,260 days.
Uh-huh.
And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels
So
fought
watch
against,
it. There was war in heaven. Michael and his angels, and what else happened?
fought against the dragon.
And they fought against the dragon, and what else?
And the dragon was
Watch, pay attention.
And the dragon fought and his angels. And
The dragon fought and his what?
Angels.
Okay, and watch this.
And prevailed not.
And who prevailed? What does prevail mean? Prevail means won, right? So he said he prevailed not, which means he did what? He did not win. He lost, right? So the dragon and his angels fought against Michael and his angels, and they went head. And the dragon prevailed not, which means the dragon and his angels lost that fight. Then what else happened?
And the great dragon was cast out, and prevailed not. Neither was there any place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out.
So watch it. The great dragon was cast out. Who was what?
That old serpent.
That old serpent.
Called the devil and Satan.
He was also called, Eli, you paying attention? He was also called what?
The devil and Satan.
So the devil and Satan are the same. They also were called the dragon and that old serpent. The serpent that Adam and Eve was talking to, or Eve was talking to, that was also the devil, right? So the devil can be identified in 4 ways confirmed here: as the dragon, as the old serpent, as the devil, and as Satan. What you got? A specific dragon. He is the dragon. Yeah, not 3-headed, but yeah, in Revelation they talk to us about a dragon that has 7 heads, 10 heads, 7 heads, 7 heads. Yeah, well, 7 heads, and then you're probably talking about the beast. One of the beast heads gets killed, and then another one comes back, which they call the 8th head, the 8th head. Whatever.
No, it's talking.
What is that?
He said Cerberus.
What?
Cerberus, like it's Greek mythology.
Any other questions? All right, well, let's pray out.